This is HR Service Unscripted, bringing you another fabulous podcast. I'm here with my cohorts, Dr. Liz
Hello.
and Nikki.
Hello.
All right, today we have some topics. We're gonna go over a legal update that we throw out. HR Service throws out monthly. Liz was in charge of this one, so we'll let her take this. Then we have a little discussion about. I made notes. I have to remember this decision fatigue. And the ever so popular and famous train or term. Ooh, we're waiting for that one. Okay. So legal update. Who wants to start?
Well, I'll say for federal updates this month, we have some OSHA, some ACA, Medicare, some benefit stuff, and then, of course, this time of year, IRS tax whoop-de-doos going on. Liz, do you want to tell us more about any of them individually?
Yeah, the OSHA Form 300A, it should be posted starting February 1st through April 30th. Then, of course, we have our W-4 exempt withholding forms are about to expire. So make sure we get the updated ones. Then we have MIWA, which is multiple employer welfare arrangements that offer health and other benefits to employees of two or more different employers. All participating employers must electronically file Form M1 no later than March 1st.
Oh, so is that something like, people have two part-time jobs, but it would equal full-time employment, and then they are eligible for benefits, I guess, through the marketplace.
I believe so.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice
Yeah.
one. That's why you get a good law.
Got ACA paper filing deadlines, a Form 1094B, 1094C, 1095B, and 1095C. That comes up March 2nd, but they have electronic filings due March 31st. March 2nd, Part D, Medicare Part D forms to CMS. They are due. And let's see. Form 8928, filing deadline for health plan compliance failures. That's going to be April 15th. Employers and group health plan sponsors must file Form 8928 to self-report certain health plan and compliance failures. These may include failing to provide required pediatric vaccine coverage, comply with COBRA requirements, meet portability and market reform standards, or make comparable contributions to Archer MSA or HSAs. Very exciting stuff.
That's
And
good. How many people have heard about all these? Like some of these are new to me.
some of these are new to me as well. It's kind of a learn as you go with this one. And then April 30th, of course, we have Form 941, quarterly tax return due. Then the last federal update is the EEOC rescinds workplace harassment guidelines in late January 2026. So be aware that they have provided interpretive examples on Title VII harassment, including scenarios involving protected classes. Businesses should revise training content and harassment prevention policies to reflect this. Guidance no longer reflects current EEOC policy. So basically just double check EEOC, make sure your training and policies are in alignment.
As always.
As always.
And now we're on to states.
Yep.
Sorry,
California has
I was looking. Oh, I was going to say the states that we are talking about today. So employers in the following states, stick around and listen up. It's California, Colorado, New York, Ohio, and Virginia.
Yep. So California's got a couple. Pay data reporting portal is open for use between February 2nd and May 13th. That's for employers with 100 or more employees. They must submit their annual pay data. Emergency contact opportunity deadline is March 30th. So current employees and new hires must be provided with the opportunity to designate emergency contact information by this date.
I have a question about that. Can't you submit that anytime? Like how everywhere I've worked, that's like one of the first questions they've asked you.
That I'm a little surprised that that has to be a law. I feel that that's a very standard practice for employers. So I'm wondering who is the reason that we have that law, because there's always
Well,
someone.
there's a story. There is a very interesting story behind that one. Because it doesn't make any sense to me. Of course, you want to call their emergency contact when there's a problem. I'm not just calling 911. It depends on what the problem is. Bizarre. Or like if they don't show up for work. Sometimes you have to call an emergency contact when it's like you know the person really well and you would have heard from them or whatever's going on. You don't call 911 to be like, my employee didn't show up. You call their emergency contact to be like, hey, we're concerned. Do you have other methods of contacting these people?
Yeah, it serves multiple purposes. So I'm not sure why an employer wouldn't be doing this already. But in California, they're now required to by May 30th, by
March
March
30th.
30th. So Colorado Form DR 0995 notice, there's an update to that. The Department of Revenue has clarified the size of the notice. If delivered in writing, it must be at least 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. Or if it's delivered electronically, it must contain all the same information of the form, the written content form. Just providing a link is not sufficient. You have to provide the actual form electronically.
I kind of love how that's not like a standard page size, right? Is it? Or maybe it's a half of a page, I think.
It's about a half a page.
Because the eight
Uh,
and a half inches, that's definitely like the width of a regular piece of paper, like one of these guys. Oh, can't see it. Can't see it. Whatever. Don't submit that, Colorado. That's not going to work.
So if you are providing that notice, just make sure it's the appropriate size. If it's too small, it will not suffice.
At least a
Then
half a
we
page
at least half a page. It's an easy way to
of
look
a
at
standard letter size paper.
it. So the Colorado AI Act we reported on in January. Since then, the effective date has been pushed back to June 30th of 2026. Previously, it was February 1st of 2026. So we have a little extra time there.
Interesting. Do you remember off the top of your head which that was? It was like was it AI and management decisions?
I believe this one, I'd have to check the January update to be sure, but I believe it was the ability to cancel a subscription.
Oh,
Oh, let me
okay.
click the,
Oh, I wonder why they extended it. Well, obviously because nobody was ready for it. That's just
oh, it's increased transparency for algorithm systems. So good thing we
Mm.
checked on that one. So they've pushed it back, pushed back that deadline for requirement.
I mean, that's not ideal only because I mean, good because it sounds like a lot of people would have been non-compliant and there may have been fines attached to it, but also like let's not push it back again. That's good enough. You've given people enough time.
Yeah, I think 6 months should be more than sufficient.
Hmm.
We could get compliant in that time.
Hmm.
New York has a couple of updates as well. Secure Choice Retirement Program registration and certification deadline, March 18th. Most private sectors, employers with 30 or more employees must register or certify their exemption. Of course, the deadlines do vary by size. So you check if you have more than 30 employees, check out your size, your exact size on their website and determine where your deadline lies. New limits on employer use of credit history effective April 18th. Employers are prohibited from requesting or using an applicant or employee's consumer credit history when making employment decisions. Limited exceptions apply, such as for positions that require security clearance under federal or state law.
Hmm. Now, hang on, let me look at that one again. Requires secure. Oh, so I mean, it's very typical in accounting functions to do their whole credit history. So I'm wondering what, the nuance of that is how much are they going to be permitted to? I was just telling someone a story the other day where I had hired someone who falsified their background check. And it turns out that they had been in federal prison for embezzling from a previous employer, and they were our new CEO. So I'm sorry, CFO.
That's a bit of a conflict.
Right. I mean, I figured it out because I just happened to look at the benefits registration like at the same time that I was filing that paperwork away. And I was like, oh, wait a second, this social security number is different. So it was really coincidence that I even discovered it. But like uh I mean that well, that's criminal history and they did falsify the documents, but I just feel like you do get an idea of a finance person's responsibility with money when you're looking at their credit check.
And a lot of banks do it as well. They do their credit checks even at the customer service level.
I mean, as they should, these people are handling
So I'll
massive amounts
be
of money.
interested to know how all that's impacted because there are some positions where it does make sense. There are some positions where it does not make sense to do a credit check,
Mhm.
but financial ones where you're dealing with money, I think it does. So we'll
Yeah, I
see how
hope
that
that those are the
unfolds.
exceptions.
Ohio E-Verify requirements effective March 19th. Non-residential contractors, subcontractors, and labor brokers in the construction industry are required to use E-Verify to confirm workers' employment eligibility. Then we
Hmm.
have Virginia non-solicitation agreements now subject to the same limits as non-competes. I think this one's important to be aware of. Virginia courts of appeals ruled that agreements which prevent former employees from recruiting coworkers to join a competitor are treated the same as non-competes agreements under Virginian law. So as a result, these non-solicitation agreements are now subject to the same legal limits as non-competes. Employers can only enforce them against employees who are not attorneys or physicians, are not considered low-wage workers, and had access to company confidential or sensitive business information.
Okay.
Then, as always, be sure to check your local ordinance for minimum wage and salary history bans.
Well, thank you. That was very interesting.
Very
Job.
exciting
Good
stuff.
job. Yes.
Any comments,
Yeah.
Steve?
No, no. I just went with the flow and I'm like, okay, let it go. I did look up the Colorado document because I was very curious on what that DR 0995 was. And it's
Yeah.
about tax credits.
Did they give a sample size?
They did have the sample size on there, and it was a very colorful document letting employers know what they need to do for different types of tax credits. There's like 5 different tax credits on there that employees could be looking for.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, so okay, they got that piece down, and like good for Colorado.
Yeah.
Friends in
Again, I'm
Colorado.
wondering what employer was providing notices in smaller sizes
I don't know.
Smaller. Can you get like
to
an index?
warrant this ruling.
It
Like a
was
wallet
interesting 'cause it
size
took a
picture.
second to open it, like
Everyone's
the
checking.
piece. Yeah, it like the software that opens that type of document, it didn't recognize it at first because I don't know if it was a size issue. It was trying to put it together. It was interesting. So, but it's good. It's in law now, so they can, Colorado can deal with that.
Very fun stuff.
Very
Okay,
fun.
if you have any questions, concerns with the legal update, contact HR Service. We're at solutions@hrserviceinc.com. And there's a phone. I'll give the phone number at the end of this podcast. But yeah, contact us if you have any questions. You can get on a list to get that sent to you, emailed to you monthly.
Get on a list. It's a good list.
Get on the
It's a good
list.
You never
list.
want to
Another
be on
list
the
that we
list.
had.
Yeah, I always feel like, oh, don't put me on a list, but this is a good list.
It's good to
Yeah.
be aware of what's going on, even in other states, because California and New York tend to be trendsetters in what's going to happen legally.
Yeah. Yeah,
And you
they're always
could
throwing
have a
so much
re
out
yeah,
there.
California. And Colorado's really close to California anymore, so not as
And
in physically
Oregon.
close, but in Oregon, yes. Phew, all these Western states, except mine.
It's only a matter of time. There's so many transplants
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it
coming
goes.
Oh, Texas is also not on that list often.
and never
Exactly.
will be. That's not a matter of time.
Okay. We'll jump in. Decision fatigue. I read an article about this a few days ago, and I thought, well, it was kind of interesting. Who has decision fatigue and what is it really? Is it just a new topic that's come up or just a new, I don't know, keyword that people are throwing out there to get attention? Should I tell you what it is? Do you want to know what
Yes,
it is?
Yes.
tell us what it
Okay.
is.
I thought you just might be hanging on that cliffhanger of mine. Well, it's defined as the mental and emotional exhaustion caused by making too many choices. And by making too many choices, you get lower quality decisions, impulsive decisions, or avoidance of decision. It causes brain fog, makes you irritable, and if left unchecked, can lead to burnout. Hmm.
I have a comment.
What?
So
You have
everyone
decision fatigue already.
everyone knows that I like to use these two examples, Steve Jobs and uh, Mark Zuckerberg, both famously always wear or wore the same outfit every single day. Steve Jobs always wore his black turtleneck, I think it was, with jeans. And Mark Zuckerberg took this idea and filled his closet with a bunch of gray sweatshirts and a bunch of pairs of jeans. So every day it was just, that's my top, that's my bottom. And now I'm going into work. And I feel like they are great examples because they are two of the most famous innovators of our time. So I'm thinking, what, if Steve Jobs had been like standing at his closet every morning and been like, should I wear the blue shirt or should I wear the black one? Like, would we not have the iPhone? I'm like, that was like they started their day not having to make a decision that in their field does not matter because they are working on technology. If you're obviously, the editor of Vogue, then you can't make that kind of a
Keep that thought
Yeah,
because
probably
there's
not.
a piece of this. I made a couple notes about how to avoid it, and it did talk about something similar about that. And you can say Albert Einstein started that. He wore the same
Mhm.
clothes, same color clothes every day. So he didn't have to make a decision on clothing because he had other things to work on.
Oh, he was the OG. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Might have been even someone before him, but I just remember reading about that.
That's where I'm
Did
used
you
to
know
hearing it from.
he did not speak until he was 8 years old?
I did not speak to him till after that.
Someone told me that once, and she worked with children, this person, young children, like under age 6, and she was like, imagine what was going on in that.
So I've heard that, but I question the validity. Let me Google that real quick.
Liz has died.
Because
No, no,
I've heard
no.
that before, but mostly on Facebook. Okay, so he did delay in his speech, but it was the accurate age is 3 to 4 years old.
Oh, hmm. Not as interesting as 8.
Well, maybe if you put it into from that time to current time, it would be equal to about 8.
That's his age adjusted for inflation.
I was just gonna
Exactly.
say it's not inflation.
I
There
don't
was a
know.
lot more expected of kids back then, though. The 4-year-old might be like been doing laundry at that point,
Yeah.
hiking it down to the river and doing the washboard and the whole thing.
By 8, they had jobs and were providing for the family.
They
So
were working in the mines.
All right. Well, totally.
back to
Before we
decision
run off the
fatigue.
rails completely, yes. Okay, what have you seen the signs of decision fatigue? If you saw them, would you notice them? And do you want to know what they are?
I want to know what they are.
Well, the first one is procrastination and decision avoidance. And the fun little piece about this is it says you become paralyzed by choices because you're
Mhm.
given so many choices and tasks to do every day, you are paralyzed by your choices. I haven't seen that personally, but paralyzed seems kind of a, kind of top of the peak here. We
No,
didn't.
I get it because it's just maybe one decision in front of you right at this second, but you can't help but look 3, 4 steps down the line to be like, okay, well, what impact is this going to have to the next item, and how many more decisions am I going to have to make for down the line that you really can't anticipate because you're not actively dealing with whatever that issue is at the moment.
I get the procrastination piece. Paralyzed, I think that's a little harsh term to put in there
Well,
for
I,
explanation.
I think you see it a lot, or at first in your personal life before you see it in your professional life, because it's those simple decisions at the end of the day that you don't want to make. Like, okay, well, where do you want to go to eat? I don't know. But I'm sure I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
figure it
Well,
out if I thought about it, but I just can't stand the thought of thinking about it right now.
it's true.
Right.
What kind
And
of
you say, I
popcorn to
don't
have?
care, but
Yes.
it's not that you don't care. You don't care to think about it. I
Dinner and
do care.
popcorn decision.
Well, we just
Hey,
got this like new chicken place by us, but I'm gluten free. So everybody keeps saying, oh, we want to go eat there. We want to go eat there. But then I'm like, I'm gonna go on a day when I'm not around because I can't even eat there. Have fun with your chicken. But
guys,
it's like every
to
day
go
we're
on a
making that
total chicken
decision, like,
tangent,
should we go there or not? And every day my decision, like my answer is no, but then everyone else is like, oh, but we do have to keep making it over and over the decision.
That's a good decision. It's amazing how many chicken places have opened out by me. There's like 10 new ones, and it's like, it's all chicken. How do you change it up?
All fried chicken. Well,
Yeah, it's
by
all
us,
the
it's a
same.
fried chicken place.
Yeah. And there's still one that rules them all. So I don't know, but they're not open on Sunday, so people get angry. So our second one is impulsive decisions, right? You make reckless or irrational choices without considering consequences.
Yeah, so that's like the
Mm,
opposite, where it's just like, let me just say something to say it because
yeah.
I want to stop
Mhm.
thinking about this. And then you end up at the chicken place with nothing to eat.
There you go. There you go. Oh, and it's perfect because the next one, another sign is irritability and or brain fog. So you're emotionally exhausted and mentally overloaded. So as you get to this chicken place, you get very angry and irritable that you're there.
Yeah.
So perfect segue. Thank you, Nikki.
Actually, it does go back to the popcorn now that I'm thinking about it because I was trying to clean the counter off and I'm like, where am I going to put all this stuff that goes on the
You're
floor?
nailing this. So the last one that you notice, it's called decision hangovers, right? It's rehashing, overthinking, or regretting decisions already made.
Oh my
And you just went back to the popcorn. You were rehashing popcorn.
goodness. Popcorn made it back onto the counter.
The popcorn
So,
was the breaking point of all the other decisions that led to the popcorn.
Yep. So those are your signs. So causes of decision fatigue, right? Overwhelming choices, the sheer volume of daily decisions, right? So this article put out, as they surveyed people, they said people have often thousands of decisions to make every day.
wow.
A lot.
Can you break it down? Is that a true number? I don't know. I've never thought about how many decisions I have to make, but
And I guess it depends on what your responsibilities are. If you have 5 kids and a full-time job and a, you know, part-time job as well, you probably do have
and
to
a
make like
puppy.
at least 500 to sit in a
Yep.
puppy. Should I put the puppy in the room with me or should I put the puppy in his crate? Because that could really affect your life, especially if you're in the middle of something that you can't get up and stop him from like chewing on whatever.
It's like chewing whatever. Doesn't matter anymore.
Something.
Uh, Another cause is high stakes decisions. So you have a complex role where high stakes decisions require a lot of mental energy all the time.
Meaning it like is going to affect other people's lives in a way that could be either very positive or very negative.
Could be a high stakes decision. Yeah, you could be a doctor, you could be an engineer, you could be an airplane
Mhm.
pilot. Who knows what they are?
Mhm.
Even HR. You think about, we make decisions that impact people's lives on a daily basis, whether they're going to be employed or not, whether they're going to get a pay rate increase or not,
Yeah.
whether a new policy is going to make somebody's job harder or easier.
And then they quit over it. The cost of turnover is half their annual salary. I wrote it down last time we talked.
Exactly. I was thinking about that too last time we talked about that. And what do you consider like a boomerang employee? Where does that fall in that whole return hire? Because they come back with some knowledge and
Interesting.
coming back, would that be half of what it would be to rehire someone? I don't know. There's a
That's
question
an
for another day.
interesting concept. Obviously it depends on what how long the person was gone,
Mhm.
so if you can convince them to come back in a relatively quick turnaround, it probably is not that costly to the company.
Unless you do like X did, and when they got rid of a lot of people, they tried to bring a whole bunch of people back. But they wouldn't
Actually,
come back unless
okay,
they paid a lot more money.
that's a little different though, because they told them to leave and then asked them to come back.
Hmm.
So now you have these bitter employees whose lives were changed not by their own decision. And now you're trying to like sweeten the pot to have them come back. So first of all, you're definitely going to have to be giving them a raise, and they are disenfranchised to the whole organization.
And they're probably spending
I
some of
know.
their time on the clock looking for other jobs because they
They're just
know that
waiting for the other
they're
shoe to
expendable
fall.
to the company.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
they
but they're
were
not because then they
expendable,
were asked to
but
come
now they're
back.
not.
So
Yeah,
then it was
exactly. Yeah,
like,
it's oh,
but I
what a
still
big
would because
mess.
I'm like, well, what if they obviously make rash decisions and just cut a bunch of people without even deciding that they knew they needed them?
What a fabulous case study. We'll touch that one
That'd
one
be a
day.
fun one to dig into.
That's going to be
Yeah.
in textbooks in 20 years for sure.
Okay, our final cause, stress and poor sleep,
Mm. I have so much
based
sympathy for this
on,
one because it just makes everything worse when you're not caring for yourself physically.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah.
self-care is shown to be important in a number of things when it comes to productivity and ability and or just our overall functioning.
Hmm. Yeah, because then you get to work, you're exhausted, and your cortisol levels are too high, and you're having a whole nother day of having to make these really high stakes decisions, and it's snowballing into
Oh my
madness.
gosh. You hit the key term. The hot topic is cortisone. I've heard so many and seen so many articles about cortisone right now. It's like it's affecting everybody. It's why people are overweight. It's why people are sleepy. It's why people are this. And doctors are treating the wrong symptoms for overweight and every other category, but it's all about cortisone and hormones. And I'm like, oh, look at that.
Right.
And I
I've
don't know if
also
it's
read
true.
it's
I haven't dug in.
a lot of it is preservatives in food because we were eating, as kids in the 80s, we're eating so much like uh I mean, we thought it was like okay food, but it was really it's just full of like these bad chemicals, and that's also really affecting the obesity crisis.
And the cost of
Um,
food.
Yeah,
Healthier foods are much more expensive.
they are,
Yeah,
but they're more nutrient dense. So
Oh, they're
I
worth it,
don't.
but not everybody can afford it.
Right. But I feel like you can only eat like a tiny amount of it anyway because there's like so much of it. Like when I'm having a Greek yogurt, I'm on like a Greek yogurt kick because it's delicious, just the plain, but like the super good one. And I can only have like a couple of bites because I'm like, this is so heavy. But then if I eat a bunch of corn chips afterwards, I'm chowing down. I could eat a half a bag of corn chips. Mhm.
corn chips and Greek yogurt, the breakfast of champions.
But I'm saying if you compare it as to
Okay, okay.
like
I'm
yeah,
just picturing you dunking your
gross.
little chips in the yogurt.
Oh,
Yeah,
chips in the yogurt. You know what? I might give that a shot. But like if
gross.
I wonder if you do the cost analysis though of like you literally can't eat that much healthy food because there isn't room for it in your body. So if I probably ate like 20 cents worth of yogurt today, but even though it was like it's the more expensive choice and you buy the item, and I kind of feel like overall it might be cheaper and better for your health because then in the long run you're not spending as much on medical bills.
Long term versus short term.
Exactly. Okay, well, how do you avoid and overcome these decisions? How do you overcome decision fatigue? Not with corn chips and yogurt. Maybe. So, how you said you had the segue about the morning? This one says prioritize your mornings, right? Tackle all your high stakes important decisions first thing when your cognitive function is at its peak.
Really? I guess that also gives you time to pivot if later in the day you realize that a decision needs to be adjusted.
Hmm.
And I find it interesting because I know some folks that aren't cognitively aware in the morning. They're more afternoon type of people.
Hmm.
Like it's just beginning of your day would probably be more accurate when you're fresh and alert and ready to go.
Yeah, I think it depends on the day. Some days in the morning, like it takes me a good long while to wake up, and then other times I'm like firing on all cylinders. It really just, I think people need to
Because you know
listen to
you need to get the
themselves.
important stuff done, get the
But
important stuff done and move on.
Mhm.
yeah, listen to your body. When you're at your
Yep.
peak, when you know when your peak is, that's when you should
Mhm.
And
make your
this is
decisions.
part two, limit your options, right? Reduce your choices. Reduce your choices for food, clothing, save brain power. As the gentleman you discussed wore the same color outfits all week long.
Mhm. Mhm. If you
Create
can.
routines. If you can, create a routine, right? Set up habits. Same breakfast, same work schedule, blah, 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 that same stuff.
Mhm.
Routines are good. And getting into a routine, I didn't realize was so hard until I just started getting into a new routine. Trying to get somebody into a new routine, i.e., my puppy. Oh, I tell you what, a little monster. But yeah, he's getting there. And
So
how
I
about
like to use
delegate?
my calendar on Outlook because then like I have my weekly reminders on there, but also like the time is blocked off. So it's like, okay, this is the time of the week that I, whatever the heck, do my administrative stuff. This is when I go through my emails. And it helps because it visually it's like, okay, that's when I'm going to have time for that. But also then when other people look at my calendar, they see that like that time is not available. So they're not throwing meetings on that time. And even if you need to like move it around a little bit, at least you've like put that aside.
That's what I do. I live out of my calendar, and it's not just scheduled meetings, it's also blocked out time to work on projects or blocked out time to think, blocked out time to focus. So,
It's not just when I'm connecting with others, it's like my work time.
mhm.
Yep, we all do. I think we all do the same thing. I traditionally keep my Fridays light, so in case something falls through, I have time on Friday to
Mhm.
finish before the weekend, but it goods. All right. And the last couple, delegate or automate, which kind of talked about that right there with tools, with using on calendars, and take breaks, right? Rest your brain, recover. How many people do you know that just will bang away a whole project all day long and are just fried by the end of the day? Get up, walk around,
Do yoga.
do yoga. I don't have time to do yoga, but maybe.
10 minutes. The 10-minute stretch.
Couple stretches, yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
got a new stick vacuum, so I've been taking my breaks vacuuming, and it's
And
been
you get your steps in
awesome.
as well.
Your
Mm.
steps in, and it's not too heavy, so it doesn't hurt my back. It's been fantastic. And I'll just go into one room and do the room real quick. Done. It's awesome.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
Very nice.
So
You
now
need
write
that with a
down
new
yoga
puppy.
and stick vacuums. I have both. I don't have yoga. My wife does have a yoga mat I could throw out here in the office. And
Mhm.
problem is if I start doing yoga, it might turn into a nap. I'll get my little position just pass out. You
You don't
never
have to
know.
do corpse pose. You could just do a sun
I don't
salutation
even know
in
what
the
that
middle.
is. So
It's what Liz was
uh,
yesterday when her lighting was off.
Oh, that was so bad. That was so bad. But I think I got
uh,
the setting to where I look human again, which is good.
Yes,
it looks fabulous today. Yes.
you
Yes.
have
You can see
color
the
for
color
I
in
even
my
have a screenshot
skin.
of that.
sure.
Okay. Well, that was our decision fatigue. It's like, phew. I think a lot of people get it. Maybe they don't realize they have it.
Oh, for sure.
Don't.
And I
Oh, yeah.
think people also, this is a little bit more decisions on the front end, but I think people need to look at the decisions they're consistently making over and over and over and see where they can streamline.
Oh, yeah.
You know, funny piece about that is when my kids were little and in school, the school pushed for school uniforms. And this was back before no one had school uniforms. And so many people said, no, they need to be, they need to have their own characters, blah, blah, blah. And I looked like, let's put them in uniforms. So save me so much money. Then they'll have to choose what they have to wear to school every day because
And
that
they
could
don't
be
need the new
drama.
hottest thing that their friend showed up with. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that was the one of the hardest things that my husband had to adjust to when he got out of the military was having to pick out his clothes every day because for years it was just his
Hmm.
uniform. You wear your uniform.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of
I
have
like it.
uniforms. I just do like the black leggings and then I have a series of like sweatshirts and sweaters that I wear. So I'm like a half a uniform now nowadays because I work from home.
Get the uniform. Okay. Well, I think we're done with that. What do you have for a trainer term today?
We have a good one today. Um, the wording offended me a little bit, so we're definitely going to have to go over that. But so this one came in from one of our listeners. I'm assuming it's a he, said, I manage a small administrative team and recently learned that one of the girls is working a side job during downtimes at work. Business has slowed significantly, so she definitely has slow times during the day. She uses her own personal equipment and is always available when needed. Her performance has not declined. I really don't have other work for her right now. We don't have any type of moonlighting prohibition, and we have historically allowed limited personal tasks during work time, such as checking email, making appointments, etc. My issue is that she's actively earning other income while here at work and therefore double dipping, in my opinion. I have no issue with employees having second jobs, but it doesn't sit right with me because she's earning money from two employers at the same time. I'm not sure if I should let her go or ask her to stop.
I
Other
think we
than the
need to,
use of one of the girls.
I was going to say, we need to train the writer on how they refer to their
No,
employees.
Stop referring to
just
them, please, as the girls. So
oh,
that
funny.
has colored my view of manager a bit. So I'm a little biased at this. I probably should have left that part out, but I just wanted you to hear it as it was.
I like it. Well, just right off the bat, I was taking a few notes just so I didn't forget the scenario. And he's already allowed it in the past. He set precedents.
Hmm.
Allowed like checking personal email and making like doctor's
Well, he
appointments.
said he let it do personal tasks and things. Didn't clarify that it wasn't working or doing a different job. Who knows if that was the truth, but he's already
Mhm.
had that happen, and it sounds like there's no policy against it.
Mhm. What did it say? No moonlighting. Was there no moonlighting prohibition or oh shoot, now I lost my spot.
I thought it said that he did not prohibit moonlighting.
We don't have any type of moonlighting prohibition. So there's no, I'm assuming that means no policy at all.
Then he has no work for this person to do, so she could sit around and sweep floors or work on something to improve herself.
I mean, it says
But
we don't
I
have
think,
any other work for her to do.
yeah, exactly. I don't know what they do, but he like you have no work. Well, sounds like you're overstaffed then, or you need to get some salespeople to get you some work.
Yeah, I think it's more of a train for him.
Yeah.
Train him on how to manage labor, train him on how to create some policies.
Or how about like, why don't you use that time to uh have succession planning? Train these people into doing more advanced work.
Some training and development, get them multi-skilled. I mean, there's a lot of different options, but I don't think the fault is necessarily on the employee in this situation.
I mean, if I was just sitting there for however many hours per day twiddling my thumbs, I would also start to think to myself, well, what can I do that's more productive? There's no work here to do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
checked all my email, I've made all my appointments. What else am I going to do?
Well, you have yoga or stick vacuuming.
Right?
Zombie
Play with the
projects.
dogs.
He could
Hobby pro
create work.
zombie project. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Right.
geez.
I kind of also feel like there should be a conversation with the employee because work is very much like home. There's always something to do, even if it is sweeping the floor, which I have done at work before. Actually, it was someone spilled coffee on the kitchen floor and they were running into a meeting, so I cleaned it. But like it's you can't think that there's any job below you when you're at work if you're bored,
Yeah.
or really any job.
Agreed. Agreed. Just where he came across with this, I'm like, you have no policies. You've allowed this in the past. I'm not going to say set precedents, but he has. It's like, come on, write a policy, talk to your employees, say, hey, you can do this in your own time, not here.
Mhm.
And she's using her own, it's amazing. She has her own equipment and everything. He already knows, oh, you're using your own stuff, so you're not affecting me.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And her work's not suffering.
Yeah,
Well, I
exactly.
kind of feel like
Yes.
she must be doing like something on her phone. I mean, there's even like those we work, not we work. What's the one where you like just hire people like very quickly for
Like TaskRabbit.
something like that? Yeah, but I mean, it could be something like that where she's a personal assistant for, someone outside of there. I think he's hung up on the fact that they're earning money at the same time for both jobs, but like I don't I don't know. If she's not hourly at the other place, then no.
Well, who knows how long as he's allowed it? He's allowed it in the past. He's allowing it now. So he needs to write some policies, put his foot down, say no longer do no, no, you
Mhm.
can't do this in my place.
But then have her sit there and stare at the wall.
Well, then he'll have to find a task for her to do.
And that's his job. I mean, yes, the employee should present like, hey, I'm out of work. Can you give me some work? But it's his job to give her work.
To find things for her to do, or say, take this course to increase your skills.
Hmm.
Yeah. Or
There's definitely
yeah, he could guess is he busy all day long too? Does he have tasks he can share? Is he afraid to let go of his tasks?
Maybe he needs to delegate.
Exactly.
self-reflection.
I think we need to spend some time with this individual and look at all his deficiencies from a holistic perspective and help him work on some of those because I feel that's going to solve a lot of his problems.
Sir, when you wrote in and said one of the girls, you didn't know that you were just going to get disemboweled.
Should he
I
said
wonder
one
how
of
he
my
talks to
employees?
I wonder how he talks to the male employees. If there are male employees, maybe there's not. Maybe there's not one of the
Obviously,
boys.
they are the
He's
boys. Come on,
yeah,
boys. Go out for a
maybe
trip,
he just
boys.
has employed a handful of female employees and they're all his girls.
Now, in all fairness, I will say I have heard female managers refer to their team as girls.
I hate everything about that.
I,
No, I mean, besides the fact that like there's just so many connotations, and it's anyone in a position of authority should not be referring to a group of people like that.
because we're adults. The
Yeah.
employees should be adults.
My team. And I don't even like to say my team like I have ownership over the team. I just like to say our team or the
No.
team I work with.
It could be a culture thing. You never know. Could just be that way. A small run, family run business. We have very limited information on this case.
Other than the manager needs some serious attention, self-reflection
Agreed.
in his own training. And don't fire a person for taking advantage of your lack of leadership.
Exactly. So I think I'm under train, but it's training him.
Mm-hmm.
We got some train the manager. We have several ask HR questions that are train the manager, and they're some of my favorites. Because they write in like, oh, this person, you tell me how to tell off this person. And we're like, oh, you know what? Telling off you.
Well, and the fun part is we have a team full of people who can do training for you.
Yeah, we could do an assessment to see where you've gone wrong.
Exactly. Okay. Are we in agreement this week of a training?
I think
Train the
so.
manager, not the
manager.
Train the
employee
manager.
who
Yeah, exactly.
has
Train the
not
manager.
broken
Yes.
policy. Right.
That is a true thing. Yep.
And not
Right.
also breaking they have no moonlighting policy, so there's literally nothing. I don't have my glasses on today, or contacts, so I have to fix this later
You
for
are
our data
you
collection.
are just fine. All right, we're gonna wrap this monster up. So if you need any if you want to go over our legal update, a monthly update comes out to you. Some months are much better than others, depending on what happens federally and on state levels. Email us solutions@hrserviceinc.com, 833-685-8400. Extension 2 will get you to a live person, get you to where you need to be. Like us on any of the socials. Apple, I forget there's so many anymore, right? Amazon Casts, Spotify, whoever else you can get your things from, and go to YouTube. We are on YouTube now. Give us a thumbs up and a little subscribe. It'll help keep everything going. I think that's all we have. We hit legal updates, decision fatigue, and trainer term and raw training.
Just an FYI, we are going to have a guest host upcoming, probably next week, but not exactly sure if it is, because I'm going to be out. So enjoy the time with the guest host.
No, we'll have to find well, you'll have to give us the trainer term before you go.
Yes, I will do that. I will supply the information. So any listeners, send in your trainer term questions. We'd be happy to answer it.
We're not going to say goodbye to Nikki. She'll be with us. We'll see her, but she's just taking some time off.
I'll be with you in spirit.
Exactly. All right. Well, thanks all. Bye for me. I'll let you.
Bye.
Bye.
Remember, we are HR Service Unscripted, right? We're on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. Give us a thumbs up and a subscribe.